Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at AAVE, its valuations against Bitcoin, as well as the US dollar. My, this is pretty cool. So, with AAVE, we talked about last time how it is bounced from the 50-week moving average. To summarize, we have seen multiple times of the 50-week moving average acting as support for AAVE versus Bitcoin. This was going to be the fourth iteration of it. It happened. We bounced. We rallied 34% that week, and we talked about how that was pretty impressive. But we also discussed how the last time this has happened, so this is during the period of October 2020, January 2021, where when we bounced off the 50-week moving average, we held as resistance the 20-week moving average at that time, right? So I'll show it in orange, and you'll see what I mean. So we bounced, held as resistance, came back down, and then broke it. And so I thought, oh, this might be interesting, where we've rallied 34% that week to the 20-week moving average. And one situation that I thought would happen was we'd get rejected, come back down to the 50 week, kind of play in here, essentially just moving sideways, and then somehow break either one of those. That was completely wrong. We saw the most bullish scenario here. Okay, the most bullish scenario where Ave has just broken right through the 20-week moving average like it was nothing, putting a 26, 27% rally to the week, and it's only Tuesday. So this is a pretty bullish scenario, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, well, all-time high, new all-time high for Aave versus Bitcoin, and I'll say sure, like we'll keep that on the table, especially with this kind of bullish move that we're seeing here. In fact, we're seeing a lot of altcoins right now doing something similar. I mean, like Compound against Bitcoin. Yeah, it was like a 69% rally on the week last week, and this week is 21 and a half. Things are going bonkers. But I don't really look at Compound too much, so we'll focus on what we know, which is Aave. And so with that said, um, this is essentially where we are, and this is pretty impressive. In terms of talking about breaking the prior all-time highs, and you could say it's to the white line. Let's just say to the white line, right? Um, it's possible. It's very possible. Aave would need to rally at its current price point another 42, 43%. So I don't think this is going to happen this week. If it is going to happen, it's going to happen over a multi-week period. Something on the nature of like this, for example, right? Like we had some pretty good weeks during that time span, like a 56, 57% rally. But ultimately taking several weeks, right? Um, and that's essentially how I see it. We could see some kind of retracement to the 20-week moving average, let's say, like what we see here. Like we do see Ave holding the 20-week moving average as well, but we'll see. I mean, there's many ways you can draw this, or skin this cat. You can draw a line like this and say that, look, if you're matching candle bodies, it is a downward trend of resistance for Ave, and so we should see some kind of retracement here. I'll keep that on the table. I would really like to see Ave break its prior all-time high, albeit that's very, very iffy, right? Bitcoin is still below its 20-week moving average. Things are still bearish. If you just looked at Ave, you would think otherwise, but things are still bearish, and so with that said, it's hard for me to believe that we'll break the all-time high. What's more likely is that we either actually have a downward trend of resistance, or we rally to the prior all-time high and get rejected. Like those seem to be quite more likely than breaking it. But yeah, I mean, with these past 2 weeks, I'll keep that in mind. Like I'll keep an open eye on it. Against the US dollar, you could see that if we just get rid of, like these three weekly candles, we're essentially just moving sideways in this region. Like in this region, this is where Ave's been holding between the prices of $528 to $300. You can see that we wick there multiple times, we wick up multiple times, but essentially we're in this region. And so if we get rid of these three weekly candles, this weekly candle here for the fifth kind of fits within this makeup here. So with that said, it would be great to see Aave just hold this region indefinite, like not indefinitely, but until Bitcoin is able to break above its 20-week moving average. Then this would be one heck of an accumulation range, right? Ave's never, well, we only have till 2020, so there's obviously other price data that I'm not looking at, but this would be pretty long accumulation range. Something that comes to mind in that sense is Cardano against the US dollar, in this accumulation range here was pretty impressive, where it was just holding a dollar for, for weeks on end. It was a pretty decent accumulation range. That comes into mind. And so with Aave, we see another potential accumulation range, meaning if you did buy at this level here, you did very well. You did very well. But it's, again, difficult to time bottoms perfectly. And you can only make the best assessment with the information that you had at the time. So with Aave showing very, very strong bullish indicators of, breaking above the 20-week, holding the 50-week as support, we could potentially see this being a downward trend of resistance for Aave. So we'll see in the days to come, in the weeks to come, to see if we're able to break it, or if we're able to break the prior all-time high, which, you could say is 0.015768 Bitcoin. But we'll see. Looking at, the relative strength index, we're pretty neutral on both ends. In fact, that against the US dollar, it's pretty neutral. It's at 50. So definitely more room to grow. Definitely more room to grow. So it'll be exciting to see. But I'll end it there. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Take care. Bye bye.